There we go. Hello, hello, Shawn. Hello, everyone. How are you all
Hello,
doing?
Chris. Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome to this podcast does not have a name, episode 18 for 2 2 2022. I was
What?
trying to
Huh? You
saying it a
lost me.
funny way, but it didn't work. Well, it's February 2nd, so it's 2 2 then 2022.
I got you.
It-
You're
It's a
just
lot
trying
of
to
twos.
confuse me.
Yes. I always
Is
want to
it
try and
really the
confuse you, Chris.
22nd?
No,
Jeez.
it's a second day of the second
Oh,
month.
it's like you really confused me. So like, I thought it was February.
Well, that's why I said 22. I mean, technically, I wasn't wrong, but anyways, how's it going, Chris? How's life been treating you?
It's been all right. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm still here.
That's it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm still here.
You
I'm still
wanna
going.
you wanna update us, or are you just gonna pass this week in
Uh,
that case?
well, I don't know what pass. Let's see. Fist of the North Star. I still going good. It's oh yeah, I actually did want to talk about that. So Kenshiro's not really a vengeful man, as you see in a lot of episodes. He's usually there to protect, ends up protecting the weak. I watched this week like 3 episode uh I guess storyline where he stalked a man to try to murder him because he murdered an old lady who was looking after a bunch of orphan children. And he told him, he's like, I will not stop until I see you dead. And stalks him through the wasteland, trying to get him back.
That's some
It
level
was,
of dedication slash creepiness.
it was, I think, one of the best little storylines of just watching Kenshiro just I guess not Nemesis, but more like Mr. X from Resident Evil 2, where he just slowly stalks you. You can see you in the distance, just slowly getting closer. And every time you turn the corner, he's there. And you don't understand how he's doing this.
Right. Like you just don't know where he is at all, and then he just like pops up randomly, like breaks through a wall. You're like, I'm back.
Yes, and it's just a great sequence of him stalking this guy up until this prison where Kenshiro fights a literal giant. Like someone who is like 3 or 4 stories tall. And of course dispatches him easily, but that's just Fist of the North Star. But it's a great little story that happened there. Uh and yeah, then just the rest of that got through the Power Ranger, I guess would be Ninja Storm, Ninja, whatever the hell it's called. I don't know what season I'm on anymore. The Hurricane Rangers or Hurricane Rangers? Don't remember that, but the I guess evil Rangers are kind of now on the good side. I mean, I guess they're no longer actively trying to murder the other three, but they're not exactly on their side anymore. So they haven't lost their cool outfits yet, which might still happen.
What do you mean, like losing their cool
Uh,
outfits, like
every
for the
time,
powers?
every time a person who isn't there from the default joins the good side, whatever cool armor they had before ends up being devalued in to match the color scheme and design scheme of the Rangers. So, like, you
Hmm.
had the Wolf Ranger in the last season I watched, who had his cool ass wolf armor just become Power Ranger armor. Like, well, now he just looks like one of them. He looks lame now. He was cool before because of that armor.
So you're saying hipster power has a lot of power in the Power Ranger universe? Yes.
If you want to call it
Like,
hipster power.
yes.
But like these, the two Rangers that were kind of quote evil, like the I guess the other Ranger, not Ranger, other ninja faction. Their armor was like a big Hercules beetle and I don't remember what the other one was. Heracross, the Pokemon.
Yeah, that's like dung beetle, I think. I could be wrong.
But something like that, like two different types of beetles. So they've got the
Or
big
Hercules.
beetle kind of armaments on their helmets. I'm like, well,
Hmm.
that looks cool, and they have cool shoulder pads. And then usually when they join the good side, their armor changes. So Maybe they're trying not to do that to not look lame because they are
Okay,
cool. I don't know.
gotcha.
And of
And then
course,
what else?
you find out that you know somehow the two warring ninja factions happen to make mechs that are 100% completely compatible with each other and will not and at all be fused together in the future, which did happen.
Right?
So
It's like they were never meant for each other,
yeah,
or
it's
were they?
like maybe they had this not really planned, but like that they were sharing secrets the entire time because they're even though they're ninja, they have a computer mainframe in each other's bases, which helped them to create these mechs back in the era of like ancient Japan. They knew of mech technology, but just couldn't achieve it till now. I don't fucking know. Anyway, they apparently had scrolls that told them how to build these things.
Hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, it
Cool.
makes sense. Yeah.
Well, anything can make sense in Power Rangers, right?
I mean they are fighting space ninjas who wants to learn all the space ninja arts. So even though half of them aren't really ninja, but yeah, it's going all right and just playing through RE2 on stream.
Yeah, I've been watching your morning streams. I'm surprised you're not advertising on your Twitch that you're having like a little Resident Evil marathon, kind of like making like a not a little bit of a big deal out of it. Just like, hey, watch me play through all this Resident Evils in order and all that.
And you say that I'm only doing like half of them, not even half of them technically.
Well, where are you stopping? Because you did zero, one, and now you're about to finish two.
The three Code Veronica 4.
Okay,
I'm
yeah,
not
that's
doing
not so
5
bad.
and 6 because those are poop. I'm not doing 7 or 8 because I don't care about first person horror. And I am sure as hell not touching the ones that star Barry and the other games.
Barry, I don't remember which.
Revelations 1 and 2.
Oh,
Or he's
I
in one of
have.
them anyway.
I have those. I have no idea what they are. I
Yeah,
just got them on sale,
one
but
in one of them I don't remember you plays like Barry's daughter and someone else. And then the other half, not the other half, but I think the same game, but the other storyline is Barry and some little girl while Barry's trying to rescue his daughter. And then I don't know what the other one's about. And then
okay,
there's some other games and spin-off crap that I don't want to touch. At least not
yeah,
anytime soon. Maybe I'll
that's
play
understandable.
them eventually, or when maybe I'll buy the RE series franchise on Steam at some point, and then maybe I'll touch all the other games. But I'm just doing all the GameCube games right now.
Okay, that's fair.
Uh, but yeah, man, RE2 is a lot shorter. Yeah, for a single character run than all the other games. But technically, there's two sides to their stories. So if you add that together, it adds up to close to the same amount of time for the other games. Like a
Yeah,
normal Jill run is, I think I did on my first one, what, like 9 hours? And I did for like Leon, or I guess it would be, what's her name? Claire.
Claire.
I averaged what, 3 or 4 hours each of her stories, so it's about the same time. It's good. I don't know if I like that one more as much as I like RE1. I like the characters a
Fair.
little bit more, but I think I like RE1 more, maybe because it's more the classic and a little bit longer. Because man, that last section is super short.
Yeah, just like anything else in terms of franchises, like shows, movies, or whatever games. RE2 was my first Resident Evil into the franchise, so it'll always be my favorite. Like everyone's biased for their first, right? So
I
so
don't know about that.
well, not everyone, but a lot of people have bias. He's like, oh, this is the thing that got me that made me enjoy the series in the first place. Therefore, you're going to like it more naturally than the others. I'm not saying that's the case all the time, but that's a pretty common occurrence in like
Oh yeah,
games
it
or movies,
is,
or
of
whatever.
course. If it's a thing that you've attached uh, yourself to at a certain age, it's usually at least holds uh, some place for you, even if it's not in the end your favorite.
Yeah. So Resident Evil 2 was my favorite, as you said. Has my favorite characters. I love Leon. I love Claire. Um, yeah. I just enjoyed that's what made me hooked onto the series. But anyways, sorry, continue.
Oh, just more of that, and I listened to someone rant about the Resident Evil, the new Resident Evil movie.
Yeah, apparently it's
Shit.
I haven't seen it, but apparently they try and stuff the first three games into one movie, which is always a
At
terrible idea.
least the first two I heard. I don't know about three, but yeah, they shove a lot of crap in there, and yeah, I haven't seen it yet either. I want to see how
I want
bad
to.
it is compared to the other movies he did, which were all the other Resident Evil movies, because it's the same director. But I don't know. I've heard it's just as bad, or not even as bad as the other ones. Like maybe the old ones had more campiness to it. I don't know. I'd have to.
Mm.
I say I have to go watch them, but I don't want to watch anything beyond the second movie. Don't.
I mean, Mila Jovovich is hot, Chris. Come on.
I guess in a way, but those movies are awful. They're
I know the first Resident Evil. I'm like, who the hell is Alice? Like they literally made a character for
yeah,
Mila's role,
and
and
the
then it had nothing to do with the first game. Well, a little bit, but not really
not really,
that much.
but the yeah, and then the entire franchise is about her being the coolest thing ever,
Hmm.
and being the basically progenitor, not quite,
Uh,
of the T virus, or the hero of the wasteland is what happens later, because the zombie apocalypse in those movie franchises actually spreads throughout the entire world. So, and yeah, no, they're
it
bad.
was. I mean, self-contained, they're okay, but if you're calling them Resident Evil, I'm sorry, those are bad movies in that case, you know. But yeah,
Yeah,
anything else?
no, that's pretty much it. Question mark. Well, I finally got my like Christmas gift from my brother.
Oh, and what was it? Oh, here we go.
He got me the Blu-ray
What is
remaster
that?
of Project Echo. I guess it's backwards for you, isn't
Oh,
it? Oh no, it's not.
I have never. No, it's not. Well, it might be for the stream. Oh
No,
no,
stream
no, it's
is
not for the
stream
stream
is
either.
corrected
Yeah.
as well.
Huh. Yeah, I never heard of it, but as long as you enjoyed, that's awesome. That's
I
not a
do
bad
like
gift
it.
at
It's
all.
uh oh, when was this shown on Space Channel at some point, or was this one of the early stuff I've rented on DVD from the what used to be the anime shop in where we met up in town.
Yeah.
Um, it was probably one of the not the first, but very early instances of me watching an anime where I watched a schoolgirl just being stronger than mechs and being able to, you know, that whole cliche of people like jumping across on energy beams or missiles to get to
Yeah.
someplace really high. It's, I think,
Yeah.
the first anime I've ever watched that had that kind of scene. And
Okay, that's cool.
first of all, I've seen a schoolgirl like just kick the shit out of alien invaders and not like being stronger than Goku at the time. Like this doesn't make any sense.
No one's stronger than Goku.
But yeah, it's a very short kind of animated movie that I enjoy watching.
Cool. How come it took so long to get the gift?
I don't know if it was being worked on for remastering and it just came out or what. So, or my brother just needed to get cash because he knew what he wanted to get me. I don't
Okay.
know because a bunch of the old anime, like I think he tries to get a bunch of them when they get remastered or whatever. Like he wanted to get the Dirty Pair series when it was on Kickstarter, but he's like,
Yeah.
well, I didn't have money then, so he's got to wait for the Blu-ray releases, and maybe he can afford it. So that's kind of what I'm doing. I didn't back it on Kickstarter because they had already met their goal, and I didn't want the extras. I just want the Blu-rays. So I'll wait. As soon as it's out, I'll probably order it as well.
Cool.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. I watched that movie and played some games, and that was it. Haven't bought Pokemon Arceus yet.
You
I'll
plan
wait.
to?
In the future, maybe. I don't
Okay.
know. We'll see how I feel. I'll more likely pick it up at some point. I just don't know when.
Me too. I'll pick it up when I see it on sale. I am not. in a rush to
So
play that. I still have like I literally just got my Switch, so it's like, well, not just, but like a month or two ago. So yeah, I have a lot of games I
I
need to
think
play on that
I
still.
think I asked you this. Did you go through the Switch initiation? The Switch cart initiation?
Not sure what you're talking about.
Did you like the Switch cart?
Yes, of course. That's the first thing I did when I got my Switch. I opened up. I'm like, I need to lick
You
this.
need to
It wasn't.
know.
I need to. I need to lick it, Chris, for science.
Yeah, and
anyways, anyways,
there's no way any child would think that that was food after popping that
exactly.
in their mouth.
Um, it wasn't as bad as I thought. I remember I had a friend like 5 years ago who like let me lick one of her cartridges because she offered. I didn't ask, she offered. And okay, proper consent was given, Chris. Don't worry. Anyways, it. I remember doing it then. I'm like, oh god, this is bad. But when I did my cartridge, I'm like, this isn't like even half as bad as I remember it being. So I don't know. Maybe I'll try again just for shits. I'll try a different game, but we'll see.
It was surprised me that they lessened it a little bit based on how many people were doing it out of the curiosity of it can't taste that bad.
Yeah,
But
I
still,
was I was I was thinking, what the fuck are you talking about? Initiation or cartridge? I'm like, I don't. But yeah, you're totally right. I know what you're
I mean,
talking about
yeah,
now.
everyone has to do it. But yeah, it's
Yeah,
I assume even though when you did it again, it's still like enough for you to go, oh no, that's not food, and he tossed it, you know. So as long as it's still got that effect, that's what's really
I
important.
mean, you can just swallow it in one shot. You can make it food.
No, thanks. All right, well that's it for me. That's what I've been up to really. So,
okay,
and
cool.
you, what have you been up to? I heard some
Yeah,
news, some good
a
news.
lot of news. So we usually do these podcasts on Wednesday, just like tonight. So last Wednesday we did the podcast. That was like my first day off after my contract was done with my job. So the day after that, on Thursday, I wasn't planning on working at the hiring agency again necessarily, but they phoned me. They said, "Oh, we have actually a job in your field, which is HR." I'm like, "Oh, wow!" They're actually like, they told me I was at the very top of the list for the entire agency, pretty much, because the last place I was at, they absolutely loved me to the point that they even offered me a job. But again, it was not really in my field and the pay grade. Although I was getting paid good money from the agency, had I switched over to work with them directly, it would have been a lot lower than I would have liked.
Hmm.
And because again, it's not really a job that requires any education. The last one did. Sorry, the last one doesn't. So that's why the pay cut would have happened. But this one is a job in my field, which is HR, human resources, and it's also work from home. So I said, yeah, I'm really interested. They said, "Oh, great," because this is like 4 p.m., which is like when the agencies usually close. So they phone me at like 4 p.m. On the dot, and they're like, "Yeah, so like we told them a lot about you, and you're literally on the top of our list because you made such a good impression, and because of that, you're a low risk, individual for us. So yeah, we're really pushing for you, and yeah, they're wondering if you can do an interview." I'm like, like I'm literally, and I told them, well. I guess, but like I'm literally doing my laundry and I just put something in the oven right now. So I'm not sure I'm in a good position to do a professional interview. And they're like, oh, don't worry, it'll be, it's not going to be that professional. It'll be like, semi-professional. I said, yeah, sure. And they said, well, can you be in like half an hour, like online, like on Teams? I'm like, yeah, okay, let's do it. So generally, like I do have social anxiety, and generally, like for interviews, like I'm sweating, I'm shaking a little bit. I can hide it fairly well because I've had it my whole life, obviously. But this one I felt very calm. I felt like nailed every answer. I made a really good impression of myself. I feel like I couldn't have done a better job. And then when the interview was done, like half an hour later, I'm like, you know what? That was like one of the best interviews of my life. Like I was just like turned on. Well, okay, you know what I mean. Like I was like on, like you know, I was like light bulb on,
Hmm.
and
Yeah,
I
sure.
was like answering questions. Like they were asking me very tough things because they knew my situation about like I'm doing laundry right now. But yeah, I still dressed up. I still presented myself appropriately. And yeah, at the end of that, I'm like, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if I had that job because they told me they're considering another candidate. But um, see, I just got my HR degree right when COVID started in April 2019. So I haven't had any practical experience with it yet. but I did go to a very good school for it, so I do have the education at least. And they told me the other candidate, they have experience over me, but their attitude was pretty shit. I'm kind of paraphrasing when they said that,
Mm,
but yeah, and they're looking to hire someone. And again, they knew how good of a job I did with the last placement. So yeah, the next morning, like first thing in the morning, when they opened like 9 a.m., they gave me a call. They're like, "Yep, they loved you, and the job is yours if you want it." So I took it, and I started on Monday of this week actually. So everything like it was very rapid pace. So yeah, today being Wednesday again, third day in the job, and so far so good. Like the job is going well. The people are friendly. It's work from home. That's awesome. I've never had a work from home job before, and it's something in my field. And so far I'm doing a really good job. I'm impressing people. I am also, very friendly, and I think everyone likes me. So that's the feedback I got so far. So yeah, it, wow, it's like I can't believe all of a sudden my luck is actually improving for once. So I feel very blessed right now, and yeah, I'm pretty happy about my job situation for once in my life. So yeah, I'm pretty happy about
well,
that.
that's good.
Yeah,
Like it's a big
yeah.
turnaround from previous weeks.
Yes, yes, and it's everything I wanted. It's something my field and it's work from home. I do have to go to the office once in a while. I haven't had to yet, but it's literally only a half-hour drive, so it's not that bad. And also, it's only 7.5 hours days. Like I get like an hour lunch, half of which is paid, so I get like, and I can, within reason, I can choose where my lunch is. So yeah, like today I just, last couple days I actually just like cooked something in the oven because I had the whole hour. I had the time to do like chicken burgers or stuff like that. But like today I just said, you know what, let's in Ontario at least, like restaurants or dining was actually recently opened up at the start of the week. I'm like, you know what, let me just go across the food court, grab some food. And yeah, I had the freedom to like do a little walk outside during my lunch, had some good food. So yeah, it's been really good. The only bad thing about this obviously is like I'm not going to really be interacting with people in person. I'm going to be like pretty much by myself. So because I live by myself, I just have my cat here with me. So
Mm,
yeah, I'm going to have to. I'm going to try and do some social things to kind of compensate for that. I'm going to see if I made a friend at my last position or placement, I should say. And I think he does taekwondo. I think it was taekwondo. It was a martial arts. I think it was taekwondo. He's a brown belt. He teaches classes. So yeah, I'm probably gonna start doing that. I'm gonna probably suck at it, but at least I'll get out of the house. I'll interact, and I'll do something that, again, Chris, I've always wanted to do ever since I was a kid watching Power Rangers. I'm like, I want to do martial arts. So I guess it's never too late in life to kind of learn a little bit about it, right? So
no,
yeah,
at the
that's going to
very
be pretty fun.
least, you'll get out there and be a little bit active and social. So,
Yeah, because now that I'm working from home, obviously my entertainment and my work is doubling up in terms of like what I'm using it for. So like this computer I'm talking to you from right now is also my work computer. This chair is my streaming chair and my work chair. I know I need to get it replaced. My cat's been having at it for a little bit too much. So yeah, I'm gonna have to. I already looked into this. I'm gonna have to invest into a desk, a bigger and better one. This one's like 15 years old at this point, so it needs to go. And I need a better chair. I've had people tell me that if you're going to, a chair is a one thing, especially if you're working from home, that you should splurge on. You should not hold back because proper ergonomics and posture and all that, right? Like you need to take care of yourself. And again, it kind of doubles as my entertainment stuff, right? Like
mm,
I'm sitting in this chair like most of the day that I'm not sleeping. So, well, that I'm in my house, I mean. So, yeah, I need to kind of get on the ball on those two things. Today, actually, I I inquired. So I live in something like I live in it's called a junior one bedroom. All that means is like it's a little smaller than usual, but I inquired today about like a regular one bedroom that they have in my same building. It's only like 4 floors up for me, and it only costs $200 more a month. So I'm gonna do my application tonight probably and hand it in tomorrow during my lunch when they're open. And yeah, if all goes well, hopefully I'll have the place because there's no reason for them to not accept me. I've been living in here for 3 years, so they know I'm a good tenant. but there was a new person interested in it as well. So if they want it, it's probably theirs at this point.
Mm,
But if they didn't want it, then I can probably get it. So I'm hoping I can get it. So then, yeah, I'll have a lot more space. I was planning on in this apartment to kind of rearrange everything. Actually, I was going to try and do that this weekend because I'm not a big fan of the situation here because in the mornings, like I don't have to worry about streaming anymore in the mornings, but I know you can't see it here, and like for those who are just listening to this, like just yeah, like don't worry about it. I'm just like kind of showing Chris where it is. Like I think I showed you though, Chris. Like I have two curtains here,
mm,
but the curtains are like the fold down ones from my balcony, but like there's two of them, so there's space in the middle, and that space in the middle like literally shines like at 9 a.m. in the morning or 8 whenever I start a light right on my face because of where the sun is. So it's really hard for me to like see because I have to like go backwards or forwards like this. And then it's also I can't be doing interviews with someone because I'm actually a recruiter. So it will look like pretty unprofessional. It's like half of my face is like half like really light and then darky. Like you know what I'm talking
mm,
about, right? So yeah, I need
yeah.
to like get that situated. So I'm probably gonna have to move the desk somewhere, but then like in this corner of my room is like where the cable is for the internet. So it's like I'd have to like rearrange everything. So yeah, I'm kind of like not panicking, but like really having to do something different, but not sure what I should do with my furniture because we all have our natural strengths and weaknesses in our life, and interior decorations definitely a natural weakness of mine. I don't enjoy it, and I suck at it. So yeah, I'm probably just gonna clean up my apartment. I'm just gonna do a deep clean. I'll probably from my Discord because well, I do stream, so I'm gonna post this in the sub only chat for my so only subs can see. I'm gonna probably just like do like a little house tour and try and get some suggestions about furniture and like where I should be moving things because like I really do need help in that field. I really suck at interior design. I don't even want to call it decoration, but like, like where should this furniture go? I'm like, there's space here, put it there. But that's not necessarily the best solution. I'm sure there's a smarter way of doing things. It's just I hate it and I suck at it. So those two things never make it fun, obviously. So what else? Haven't been playing that many games. Um, yeah, I just been working on my stream a lot. So at least today after work up until pretty much the start of this podcast, Chris, so let's say about 4 hours, I just been working on my stream the whole time because I do plan on improving the stream. I definitely need an upgrade. I've been kind of slacking on that. I need to be streaming more often. I've also been slacking on that. So but one thing at a time. I'm going to worry about my apartment situation first, so then I'm going to be worried about the stream. But yeah, big things are going to be in store for my stream. Little hint is, well, not hint, but little kind of preview is I did hit a milestone in followers on my channel. So I think I think what I'll do is kind of like those flavor packets that they had for the craft dinner, Chris, like the ghost pepper and all that.
Mm,
So
yeah, I
I
know
still have
of
like
them.
God, I tried the ghost pepper one and like I personally like spice, but my body doesn't. I suffer during and afterwards for a long time if I eat too spicy food. And that was super spicy. Like I take two forks full and like I'm done. Like my mouth like my I'm red. I got like tears coming down. Like my body does not handle spice very well. And that's what my doctor said too. So it's not just me. Like I know like it doesn't like physically handle very well. So yeah, I'm gonna do like a cooking stream, and then we'll do like an eating stream, and maybe I'll be like, hey, you want to like make me eat another forkful of craft dinner, even though like tears are running down my face. Okay, like redeem like 1,000 of my channel points or like 100 bits or something like that. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. It's kind of like a fun
I'm
little
trying to
torture stream.
monetize your pain.
Yes, exactly. Well, channel points is just like a loyalty thing too,
I
right?
know.
So I will accept channel points as well, but the bits is like definitely a shortcut, So or maybe like you give a gift sub. I'll take like 5 forkfuls, even though two is enough to end me at my life right now. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm thinking maybe I do something like that, a little something fun, something kind of out of the box once I clean up a little bit and I'm a little more comfortable showing my kitchen. Yeah, what else? I know there's so well I ordered this and you guys those who are listening can't see, but I'm wanting to look at Chris's reaction because I haven't shown him yet, but I'm showing him right now. Okay, you don't seem very impressed, Chris, but that's okay. This is actually like a real ocarina, but it's modeled at like it's painted and designed after the Ocarina of Time from Legend of Zelda. So I need to learn more tunes. Like I already know a little bit of Zelda's Lullaby, I think. Let's see.
It's
So I you heard that, right?
a few of the notes.
Yeah.
Discord's cutting
So
out a lot of that.
okay. Well, let me do a little. Okay, I'll do a little closer. It should work
I
this
think if
time.
you do it closer, it's going to cut out even more.
Oh,
Because,
really? Okay. Yeah, you can't even hear it
yeah,
now
no.
from up
Like,
here.
but if you go too close, it's going to start cutting out because of volume.
I see. Well, I know it's trying to auto balance the volume. I'll just try and hold the note a little longer. No, nope. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right. I can't pick it up for some reason.
there's
That's
certain
disappointing.
notes it's not going to pick up because Discord doesn't like them.
Yeah,
Louder,
I'm blowing it.
blow harder.
I was Captain. I'm blowing it as hard as I can. I can't. She can't blow no more, Captain.
Yeah,
Uh,
Discord's just not a good thing for that because it's cutting out
yeah,
specific notes in that so that you
it
don't.
sucks. I can't do a demonstrate like it works on OBS. Why doesn't it work on Discord? Son of a bitch.
Well,
Anyways,
because it's a little different. OBS is meant to broadcast anything coming through your mic, whereas Discord is trying to not damage people's eardrums.
that's true.
So it is actively taking out specific notes that it thinks is background noise and
Mhm.
getting rid of them. Also, if you talk too loud, it'll try to cap your volume at a specific level, I believe, as well.
Okay,
So as not to injure people. That's
right.
basically one of two. It's doing one of two or both things at the same time. So it's cutting out a lot of that noise. But I will
So
believe you that you've been practicing the ocarina.
trust me, it was very beautiful until you
I
couldn't hear it.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was one you bought or if you got that off of is it Eris? No,
No, yeah, Eris. But no, this
Eris.
is one I just got off of Amazon. Like it's literally the Ocarina of Time. Like here, I'll
Except
show
I
you
don't.
even like the little
Yeah,
Triforce
you
symbol
can
that
see a little silver, or at least it looks silver to me. Triforce symbol. Yeah,
so well it is gold, but the camera isn't picking it up.
yeah,
But yeah. Um so I plan on making that like a channel point redeem, and then I'm also gonna have like, oh, you're a follower. Let me
yeah.
play you this song,
You gotta play
Thank
some
you for the follow.
other songs as well that isn't Zelda.
Like what?
Like I don't know. I don't have one in mind.
Okay.
Just random songs like the Dragon Ball theme or Power Rangers. You gotta learn Power Rangers
Well,
theme on that.
I'm gonna make it a priority to finish learning Zelda's Lullaby, and then we're gonna be also learning Song of Time and also Song of Storms. So those are the three I'm gonna be learning
You
for
can do
the
like a
stream.
Zelda playthrough, and every time you play one of those songs, you gotta play the ocarina.
Yes. That would be amazing if there was some sort of functionality on Twitch. It's like whenever like OBS recognizes that you do those like 6 notes, like on the game you do six
Oh
notes
yeah,
and then
if it to
you know that would,
recognize.
that would be amazing. This is $1 million idea, Chris. We need to quit the podcast now, right now for tonight. We can't let people know about this brilliant idea.
Too late. Some
Damn it.
people will know about it, but
Damn it.
I meant more so that you do the input in the game and then you use the ocarina to play it. But if there was a way for your computer to recognize you playing that, and then I assume emulator will recognize that as inputs, that would be cool. But
I would try not to use on an emulator. I would try to use Switch or original hardware. Although
then
original hardware is out of the question right now.
then you would have to, if that was even an option, you'd have to mod your systems,
Yeah.
which
Also,
I don't think is
I'm
a good thing. I don't know if you want
yeah.
to hardware mod your Switch. At least
No, I
not
do not.
yet. It's too new.
Well, Switch I can just use my
Or
Elgato, right?
software mod. Yes, but let's say if you were to do that, like the idea you were thinking where you play the ocarina to activate songs, how would your Switch know it's happening?
That's true. Okay, I thought you were just talking about in general. I didn't think you were talking about
Yeah,
this
that's
idea.
why I'm saying
Yeah,
emulation would be the best because it works with your PC, and then your PC
right,
could tell the notes what it's doing. But
right. I probably wouldn't run it on an emulator for that reason. I would just more value the fact that I'm playing it on not maybe not original hardware, but like hardware that's supposed to be played on, if that
yeah,
makes sense.
do then you'd have to do it the other way. When you play the
Yeah,
song in the game, then you'd have to play the song in real life.
yeah. So yeah, I'm pretty
Anyway,
happy about this. This is so I want to shout out for the Ocarina 2 people because now I'm part of the Ocarina group. So first of all, Maynard, who's a mod and a very good friend of mine, he got a 3D printer and one of the first things he printed was an Ocarina,
oh, it
and
was
then he posted
Maynard's. Uh,
yeah, he posted a video on my Discord about him playing it, and then Mandy, so shout out to Mandy as well, got inspired by it. And then I got inspired by both of them. I'm like, I don't have a 3D printer. Well, Mandy didn't have one either, but she had one previously. I'm like, I don't have a 3D printer like Maynard, but I want one. So I ordered on. This is actually a lot cheaper than I thought. It was like maybe like $20,
hmm,
and this is actually really like it's legit a real ocarina, and it's legit painted just like this. Maybe like this part like that shows the Triforce isn't like on the game, but aside from that, it's like the right color blue, and yeah, it works just fine. It works. It's just a real ocarina, so I'm pretty happy with it. Anyways, that's enough
anyways,
gushing about
yeah.
a freaking ocarina. What else? What else? So I did watch Eternals on Disney Plus. Thank God I didn't see it in the theaters. The first half was so slow. I can see why Eternals wasn't a good. It didn't really rank that high. So I don't want to say any spoilers, but it wasn't very happy. Like the ending was okay. It got very okayish towards the middle end, but the oh god, it took me like 3 or 4 nights just like to watch the first hour of that movie just because it was so boring. It was so boring, and I kept like pausing every 5 minutes, and then like sometimes I didn't even come back that night. I had to like come back the next night.
Was
It
it
was
because they needed to do their origin story, or kind of expect you to know who these people were,
no,
or
there's way too many of them. There's like 9 of them or something like that. So maybe 10. I don't know, but no, it's just it didn't really feel like a Marvel movie at all.
hmm, maybe they're
You
trying
know,
something with those new guys to maybe change up the formula because there's definitely a formula there for the Disney Marvel movies, and maybe they thought some people were getting bored of it, so they changed it up, or different writer or whatever, right? So,
Mhm.
hmm,
I think that's it. That's kind of all my big news. So it's been a really good week for me, really huge week, and yeah, I'm very thankful things are starting to fall in place in my life finally where I want them to be at my age. So I know people always say rightfully so, don't worry about like things falling in like you don't have to get like a house by age 30 or married by age 40 or something. You don't have to worry about that stuff. Stuff will just happen to you, but I don't know, like ever since I was a kid, I had certain expectations for myself, so it's kind of hard to get over that. I just kind of hold myself to a high standard. So
hmm,
yeah, pretty happy with that. What else? I think that's it though. Oh, and I'm thinking about switching over to Stream Elements instead of Streamlabs because Streamlabs, or specifically Streamlabs OBS slobs, is easier to work with, but it's a lot more resource heavy on your system. And Stream Elements is very top user. So if you know what you're doing, you can do more on Stream Elements. And that seems to be the common. See, that's what I think, but that also seems to be the very common opinion.
hmm,
I think we discussed this before, Chris, but yeah, I think he
we
kind of felt the same
probably
way.
have. Yeah,
Yeah.
like Stream Elements to me
Um,
seemed like a less complicated version of, or yeah, less complicated version of XSplit.
yeah.
So,
A major determining factor in that for me is my Elgato, as I said on a few streams ago, it's still the same case. I cannot use it on my OBS, but on Stream Elements it's fine. So it's I don't think it's necessarily an OBS thing. I think it's just my specific computer with OBS does not like Elgato
that's
because
more likely because I haven't had any issues with mine, and
yeah,
I think you've
and
got
we
the
have the
upgrade
same
to
one.
mine, so
Exactly. So mine should work better, honestly.
you'd
And
think.
yeah, so like obviously it works with OBS. It just doesn't work for my OBS on my specific computer, which is really and I like just in case anyone's wondering, it does actually work, but just like clockwork, after 2 minutes, it'll break. It'll just like pause and it won't. I'd have to like I'd have to re-add it and then it'll work for another 2 minutes, and
That's
it's
a
just a cycle of that. Every two
that's
minutes,
a great way
it
to
shuts off.
troubleshoot. Turn it on and it waits 2 minutes. No, it didn't work. Restart.
Well,
Turn
it
it
does.
back on. You know what I mean? Like your
Yeah,
troubleshooting is a 2 minute wait to see if it still continues to work
pretty much. So,
before you can reset and change something.
and no one knows why, and I don't know why either. It's a very strange issue. So, um, I have a new computer in the works. It's not set up yet, but I'm not too far away from having a new tower altogether, a very more powerful one. It'll be the most powerful BC I've had in my life. Um, so yeah,
It'll be, I
I
think, more powerful than my PC.
um I can link you the specs after, and you can tell us next stream if that's true. But I have no idea. Maybe it would be, maybe it's not. Can't say honestly. Depends on when you built your PC, Chris. I'm not so sure.
Well, I've got at least for video cards, it's 2070.
See, for me, I'm actually really bad when it comes to hardware. And like, I know how to install it. I just don't know like what that means. 2070.
Well, if you want it share, what are you throwing in yours?
Um, I'd have to check.
Oh, you don't have a. I
Actually,
thought you had told me it was like a something Titan.
it was, but it wasn't working, so we had to get a new one.
Oh,
I actually have the video card here. So this one is a downgrade from what I was going to use, but this is a GeForce GTX 1060. So
okay.
yeah,
I think that was the one I. Okay, so it will be lesser. That's about what my old PC was on. I think mine was 1060 or 1080 I had in previously
yeah.
before I built this thing.
My The last one was a 3000 something, but that unfortunately got damaged in shipping.
Oh
So
no.
that's a real, I know, right? That's a real heartbreaker. That's a real heartbreaker. But you know what? That's fine. Shit happens,
Yeah,
and
there's nothing you can do about that.
it didn't cost me anything. So I'm not out
Still,
anything.
lucky. I mean,
Yeah,
for you, when you get built, it is an upgrade from because you've just got your lappy, right?
yeah.
So,
Unfortunately, um, I got this television back here. I don't know where I'm gonna even put it. It's staying in the box for now because I don't have a TV stand anyways,
well,
and
you'll
my
get one
cat.
eventually when things are
Yeah.
more organized
So
or decided for you.
I
So,
got this. I got this on
Boxing Day.
it's either
Oh
Boxing
no,
Day. Yes,
was it Boxing? Yeah, it was Boxing Day, I think.
it was Boxing Day, which is basically Black Friday #2 in Canada for us here. It actually existed before Black Friday. So yeah, it's basically another Black Friday for us Canadians. For those who are wondering, but
And slowly it's been taken over by Black Friday because
pretty
Boxing Day is
much.
no longer as good at deals anymore.
Yeah, well, that's globalization for you, right? Because Black Friday, the deals are just so much better, and yeah, it's just like um, online retailers took note of that and adapted, and that is such a way that like now Black Friday is just as prevalent in Canada, if not more so than Boxing Day.
Yep.
But
But
well,
anyway.
I think I know I keep saying this, but I think we're good now for me. I did warn Chris that I'm probably going to talk a lot about my stuff
Hmm,
this week because of all the big news, and yeah,
you did.
you're good. I guess we can switch over to the gaming section if you like,
Yeah,
if
I'm
you're done.
good. I got not much else on my end, so
Okay, so we got a lot of, well, not a lot of stories in general, but we got a lot of stories this week that we've referenced in the past. They're like kind of like continuations of
yeah,
things we've already mentioned.
and lots of stories. There's a lot of stories I didn't put up on the docket because a lot of them were the same stuff we've heard over and over again that had to do with NFTs. Like, I guess we'll start there if you don't mind
Yeah,
with that older
for
news.
sure.
So, like,
Yep.
one I passed up was the Team 70. Ugh. Team 17, the guys who do worms, they apparently came out and said, we're doing NFTs. And then 2 days later, after the backlash, said, we're no longer doing NFTs.
Yep.
And apparently there's this big is it Black Verse? Something like that? A Minecraft skin NFT scam that went up. And then they ran off with like over $1 million of a fucking $1 million or a million sold. So yeah, they took off in the night and then claimed, oh no, we're definitely not running off. We're still here, you know, after this fucking scam. Some YouTuber who's known for scams scammed a bunch of people with NFTs for like over $500,000.
Oh my god, that's
Yep,
crazy.
it just tons of scams. Crypto bros scamming each other over this trash. I didn't really want to talk about a lot of that because it just that's all. There was like 3 or 4 news stories I think over the last 2 weeks about that. I did leave two up that I kind of want to mention. If I could, I don't know why that's up there. Where's the one? One specifically I want to bring up. Oh yes, Konami's NFTs. I brought this up before. Like Konami was going to celebrate Castlevania. Its birthday was it 20th, 25th anniversary, whatever it was. With Castlevania NFTs, and they sold about 14 of them. Apparently, one of the auctions had already happened. I didn't know it was happening so soon, but sold 14 NFTs. Uh, I think the average would have been roughly $11,000 in NFT. The most expensive one was
Wow.
about $26,000 for a digital map of
Jeez.
Castlevania. Or
Dude,
that doesn't make
how
sense. A digital map of Dracula's castle from the original Castlevania, I believe, is what that one was.
how do so many people who have money how are they that stupid? Like how do you have that much money? How are you that stupid to buy this stuff?
It's
Like,
quick,
oh man.
get rich quick scheme. It's a it's like a pyramid scheme, and they want to be at the top of it, and whatever other
Terrible.
stuff. But anyway, I didn't really want to. It's not really much about the money because I think a lot of people realize, and if you didn't know already, that some people just dump lots of money into NFTs,
Hmm.
like whether buying one or multiple to try and hope this will pay back in the end. But the one thing I wanted to mention was specifically with this Konami one, I had said that, hey, at least they're being honest, Konami, and saying that the NFTs, they're not guaranteed they will increase in value. You know, they also don't guarantee a couple other things with this. They don't guarantee that in the future you'll be able to access your NFT.
So you can't even use the thing you bought.
So I think this is a direct quote, but this is like in their like agreement thing. But it's like Konami will not be responsible for uh, granting the use of the NFT and purchaser benefits of the NFT, and will not provide any guarantee for the NFT itself.
No NFT for the NFT. What
Well,
the fuck? What the fuck does that mean?
basically they're saying that they are not going to guarantee that if you purchase this NFT, it will be available in the future. We don't guarantee that if we upgrade our systems or have dealings with other companies for these NFTs to be bought and sold, that we don't guarantee that we will transfer these NFTs over to that service. So like
Oh,
you could spend all this money and next month they could just shut it down and go, no, you have no access to your NFT anymore at all because it's located on a digital server on their end. All you have is a link to this thing. You like with a lot of NFTs, you are purchasing a digital receipt for what could be thousands of dollars, like what happened here, and just next week they could just pull the plug. Like they don't guarantee an amount of time you have access to your digital picture.
so that's like hanging a picture in your room, and then after an X amount of time, someone just like
Walks
the
in,
repo man,
opens it up, takes the picture out, and leaves you the frame, and just
and
goes,
there's
"See ya."
nothing you can do
Yeah,
about it.
yeah.
You're powerless.
It'd be like if the artist who drew this, or if the ladies who signed my posters here walk up and says, "Well, this is mine now." You paid for my signature, but you only had a limited time with it. That's what it would feel like. And
That's
I'd be
funny.
very sad if Wendy, the voice actress for, Bulma, came by and did that. Just to steal my picture.
I thought you would like having her
Yes,
with
but
you.
it wouldn't be nice because they would be more likely accompanied by lawyers and other things so that she could legally take it from me. But yeah, these are things that was like written in the agreement thing of people who were, agreeing to buying NFTs and that on the Konami, whatever whoever it is that Konami went through with this. Like that's really garbage. I wonder how, it's going to be said, that how many of these are going to be gone because some bullshit like this is written into other ones. Like that they could just, in a year from now, you can't access these at all. It's so awful. Oh, did you hear that? Apparently, Android Wilson is kind of backpedaling on NFTs, but not officially.
I did not. No.
Yeah, it was like some small news story that apparently he was saying in some meeting that he's not 100% on board with NFTs or something like that. But yet, EA has said in the past NFTs are the future of gaming, and we will dive headfirst into this. Not as quickly as Ubisoft and Square, but we will look into it. And I
Hmm.
don't doubt that they are still going to put these into FIFA and NFL. So, or Madden. Are they going to keep it the Madden name? Probably. Anyway, the I seriously doubt that Android Wilson means that. If it means he can make money off of it, but you know, just a little add on to that.
And just for those viewers who don't know who Android Wilson is, Chris.
It's Andrew Wilson. He's the CEO of EA, I believe, if I'm correct. But
Yes,
yes,
sorry. I just thought I kind of clarify that in case someone didn't get the
yeah,
reference, which I'm sure there would be people.
I'm sure there would because I'm not gonna call him Andrew Wilson if I can help it. But yeah, there's there's that. There's also another NFT story that stirred up a lot of ire. Now, this guy's not, how do you say? He's not unused to having tweets being taken the wrong way or having ire about stupid things he has done or said. We are talking about voice actor Troy Baker.
Who's in half the video games you play, by the way.
Yes, he does a ton of voice acting, whether it's the main characters or tons of the lesser characters in games. Like
And
he has a
yeah,
big resume.
yes, I'm joking, but no, that's actually the truth. Like pretty much. Like
Yeah.
maybe not like exactly 50%, but damn near close to it. But yeah, so we kind of covered, as you said, the story a little bit last week, I
Well,
believe, Chris, and
no, we did not.
for Troy Baker, because like we said that he supported. Oh, did we not cover
No,
it?
we
Okay.
didn't get to this last week at all.
Okay. So yeah, so last week's that's my bad. Last week he
Last week or
basically
the week
made a
before? I don't
yeah,
remember
he ma-
exactly.
he he made a comment on Twitter basically saying that he thought NFTs was a good idea and all that, and yeah, the backlash was real to say the least.
Yeah,
It was real.
he was going to
So
partner with Voice First NFT. A
yes,
uh,
and other voice actors also called him out, in addition to a lot of fans, for not having done his research and just like siding with maybe I don't know. I'm just making it up, like his best friend who's like a CEO who thought NFTs were a good thing, and he kind of convinced Troy. But yeah, so it's he made a tweet, and I'll just read it here. It's not
mm,
very long. Thank you all for your feedback and patience. After careful consideration, I decided to not continue the partnership with VoiceVerse NFT. Intentions aside, I've heard you and apologize for accusing anyone of quote unquote hating just by simply disagreeing with me. So it seems like he had a massive shitstorm on him, and rightfully so.
mm,
And yeah, he's trying to backpedal a lot of it now. Whether or not he means it, whatever. I mean, we don't know as a matter of fact. But you know, at least, at least he is backpedaling it. So he,
yeah,
he is kind of like withdrawing his support. The I'm not trying to give him a free pass necessarily. That's up to you guys and your own opinions, but at least it's one less voice for NFTs, and I think that's a good thing.
Yeah. So if you don't know what Voice versus NFT is or was, I think it's still going on. It's a place where you could buy NFT voice clips, and you can use those voice clips for whatever you want because you own them. At least use them for whatever you want, as long as you own the rights to the NFT. The thing is, you can already purchase voice clips from voice actors. You can just go onto something
Yep.
like Cameo and
Yep.
hire them to do voice clips for you, which you will own and do what you want with, because I believe that's part of the agreement. So we could have Troy Baker whenever he's available. He's here and there on that website because busy, right? But if he's ever available, you can ask him to do a shout out on our 4 hour podcast. We could pay him to
Yep.
do that. You could pay
Honestly,
him
we should.
maybe to do some small voice lines if you want to do it for part of a video game, like we'll say a small project, but you can't afford to go through the voice actors guild because it's a tiny little, like we'll say 2 line bit, right? You could probably ask him to do that over Cameo, right? But stuff like that. There's other avenues you could go. There's no reason to do this through a goddamn NFT. There's other ways to go through it. Like
We should. We should have. We should discuss who we want to do this, but yeah, we should probably have that for our podcast, Chris. Maybe just have a like, welcome
Gilbert
to.
Gottfried.
I mean, he is. I
He is
love Gilbert
available,
Gottfried. He is. Well, as I said, we'll discuss it.
although I don't know how much he costs, but
But that's the thing. It's like you can also go to Fiverr and have like a commercial use for someone doing a voiceover over, for example, for your car commercial.
yeah,
This is a thing that exists and it's not an NFT.
yeah.
So
And
it's so
there's
it's
other
so
ways to
strange.
go about doing that. There's no reason to attach it to an NFT. It really does feel like that Troy Baker either didn't look into the what NFTs were enough, or he just saw another avenue to put his voice work to
Yeah.
make a little bit more cash for good or bad, right? And it almost does seem like that he didn't understand fully the repercussions of it, or maybe he did, but he's just now backpedaling a lot and getting away from there because of the huge backlash. We don't
Yep.
know
But
we don't know fully. We just know his tweet. So
either way, he that's one less voice and that's a good thing.
I'm
So
yes, I'm glad that's one less person backing out of that because apparently a lot of people are into NFTs, but a lot of people are trying to get out or backpedaling out of it after seeing this. Oh, I wish that Ubisoft would backpedal out of this. Do you hear their bullshit? So this was a while ago.
you're
When they're
gonna have to be a lot more
Yeah, I know.
specific.
I'm gonna be more specific. I didn't put this up because it's EA and not EA. It's Ubisoft. I believe we may have mentioned this briefly, but EA had talked about them doing NFTs now, and they released a statement saying like this is a ongoing statement of them going, you know what, we're gonna continue with NFTs. Gamers, they don't know what they're talking about NFTs and their bullshit, and like, no, we know exactly what we're talking about. Fuck off, Ubisoft. Like, yeah, it's really really bad what they keep trying to like sideline and to call the users stupid for not knowing what an NFT is when I'm pretty sure we know what NFTs are and how bad they are for the
Yeah.
environment and gaming space.
Even remember when we first talked about NFTs on the podcast for a couple of weeks, I'm like, you know what, I'm still not sure what they are. But now, obviously, with enough time, I've kind of even I've gotten a grasp of what NFTs
Yeah,
are.
you may
So
not know 100%, what goes into making it and yada yada, but you've heard enough and probably read enough about it that you're like, no, I don't think these are good things. And there's, as I've said a lot of times, other ways you could do this stuff. You could sell digital assets without it being attached to something that's destroying the environment.
yeah,
you know? Uh, but yeah, whatever. it's out there. It's the way it is. I hope it ends. As much as I've said I think the technology is cool. I don't think it should be used this way. There's other ways to achieve this thing, or hopefully other ways to do it without destroying the environment.
It's basically a new toy, just like loot boxes were, and everyone wants to kind
Oh,
of
I
cash in on
forgot
it.
about that too. Thanks for reminding me. Do you know that loot box NFTs are a thing?
What? How can you have a loot box that makes no
Because
sense to me.
it's a loot box that you open up and you get a random NFT.
Oh,
Guess
that's what you mean.
guess
Okay.
which company is making them?
How many guesses do I get?
We'll give you two.
Okay. EA.
It's not EA.
Wow. I want to say Ubisoft, but I maybe not.
It's probably one that you won't expect, but
Oh, okay. Loot box for
but it
NFTs.
is still or
No,
is or was used to be a big company in gaming
no.
space.
Okay. Konami.
Nope, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was Konami. You were getting close. Older than that, it is the puppeted corpse of Atari.
Oh wow, Atari of all companies. Yeah,
Yeah,
I would not have
Atari's
guessed. No.
still sliming around somewhere. Yeah, this doesn't surprise me too much because Atari's been putting their name on as much crap as they can just to try and stay relevant, but not
Yeah.
actually, make any new games or, remaster and remake their old games. No, just because they've done like I think a hotel thing recently. They tried to, I believe, they made their own cryptocurrency thing that had something to do with the hotel. Obviously, it's trying to do something with what do you call it? Plug and play video game systems. Like, they made some. What was it? Some stupid hat, speaker
That's,
hats with Atari's name on it. I think. Yeah, they've been like, and not to mention, not forget that like Atari isn't the same Atari as back then. I think it's like I could be wrong, two or three companies now. It's been split up multiple times, bought and sold multiple times. I don't even know who owns them anymore. Like it is truly a corpse just being puppeted around, but on strings, just to dance and prod in front of the boomers, saying, "Hey, you remember Atari, right, kids who are now 80 years old? Why don't you buy some Atari stock?"
the
That's
Atari. They're survived by their name only. Like that's what's
basically,
keeping
yeah,
them.
that's it. It's the name. Hey, you remember Atari, right? And anyone who's older than me goes, "What's Atari?" you know,
Mhm.
like so. Yeah, it's. I almost forgot about that too, but yeah, yeah, it's awful. It's terrible what's happened to them. But I think that's with done with that. Unless if you had something to add on to.
No, I'm completely done with that.
All right. So, what do you have for us?
So again, this is kind of the theme of this week. Is basically we're kind of referencing stories that we've already referenced in the past. So remember that guy who got hit by like, what was it, Chris? Help me out here. Like how many copyright strikes?
Over 150 copyright strikes. That would be the
Yeah,
YouTube channel total not mark.
exactly. So he had, as we kind of covered not last week, but the weeks prior, yeah, he's partnered with Toy before, like professionally, and he got paid for it. But when he started, I'm not sure exactly what sparked it, but when he started criticizing either Toy a little bit or a show he didn't like that they made, Toy just was done with them, and then they just kind of went mad on this channel, pretty much trying to revenge shut it down for some childish reason.
Hmm.
And yeah, he was in trouble, but apparently he got, well, he still exists, so he obviously he managed to get them overturned, because that many, like, I think three and you're out. So if you're getting 150, obviously, that's big news bears for your channel.
Yeah,
um
if they're actually taken down, well, removed or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, but everything he's doing is fair use.
Hmm.
I think we talked about this last time. It's fair use in the U.S., but Japan not necessarily so.
No,
But
the copyright law is a little different and
yeah,
more in favor. Well, I don't think they've updated it, and it's definitely in favor of the rights holder and almost no leniency for anyone else. Like for if you want to make content.
So yeah, I think I'll let you take over the story here because I know you probably covered it a little bit more than I did this week, and then also you are more of an anime guy, a little
Yeah,
bit.
I didn't
So
watch his video yet. I seen it pop up like I think the day it came out. I think it was on my YouTube channel or not YouTube, my feed. I just didn't get around to watching it, but did read the news article. I'll have to watch his story or his video later. But apparently there was some other BS that was going on even before the copyright strikes. So Toei Animation had reached out to YouTube and we're trying to get all 150 videos 100% deleted from his channel, which would mean his channel would be shut down immediately because they didn't like what's going on. And
that's
YouTube
terrible.
said, no, this is under fair use, in which I believe he kind of copied. Then that's when, they did the copyright strikes. And then, the YouTuber was trying to fight back on this. Uh, and like this is some of this information was coming from his YouTube source, like the guy who's working at YouTube. And then it seemed like that Toya had just picked 85 random videos from the 150 and said, no, we absolutely don't like these, but there seemed to be like no what do you call it?
Cohesivity or
Yes, nothing about it made sense as to which videos they were picking and choosing. Like, normally you would see a common thread. Maybe they were using too much in images or a video clip that's too long. We'll say over the whatever. But I don't think he's ever done anything that's broken the fair use law, at least here. So anyway, we go through all that. Um, and then they've been battling it out, trying to get this worked out between Toei Japan and YouTube outside of Japan. And so they've come to some type of, I guess, agreement, conclusion. YouTube has decided to do what it does for other content. So if you've ever tried to watch some kind of broadcast from another country on YouTube, we'll say like a news segment from the United States and you want to watch it in Canada, a lot of the time that could get blocked because we're in Canada. So they're
Mhm.
going to implement that now as part of the fair use. If someone outside of a different country, like Toei, has a problem with your video, they'll just block that video in Japan. But it will stay up in the relevant countries that it does not break copyright in. I believe I had heard someone saying that couldn't they do something like this already, like when this came up, and maybe for some other videos that when this kind of came up before in the future, or in the past. I'm surprised YouTube didn't do it until now, but this is, I guess, the best way to do it until Japan maybe updates their what do you call it, copyright law, because it has no real fair use law in it or a good one. So this is the best way you
Yeah.
can do it. It's just block it in the country and it will stay up in others. It means that I don't think that the channel will get struck in any way. There'll just be a notice saying it's blocked here and here. The videos won't get taken down. They're just not viewable. It's the best thing that could
I'm
happen other than his channel getting taken down.
I'm glad YouTube took an additional step because
Other
let's be
than usually doing nothing.
exactly because I was just about to say that
Oh,
like let's
sorry.
be honest, that was like pretty much their status quo is doing nothing. So the fact that they did something, I'm not sure if it was because this got covered in the media as much as it did, but I like to think that's part
I
of the reason.
I think that's part of it, and with so many strikes on this one guy's channel, him being a pretty big YouTuber as well, like giving lots of coverage. I'm sure this has happened on lots of other people's channels as well, yada yada. So maybe they finally decided to do something about it after so goddamn long. Like it's said that it has to go this far or go on for so long before this company finally does something. Not that we haven't seen this done with other companies just sitting back and going, well, everything looks fine here, looking at the dumpster fire, and then finally doing something about it when someone big enough makes a stink or it affects their back end of money, right? we wouldn't have seen that
Yeah.
happen with Twitch. Or
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. For sure, we wouldn't see that with Twitch, Chris. Of
no,
course.
we
Of
wouldn't.
course. Of course. Of course, we
You
wouldn't.
know, hate
Twitch,
raids aren't a
Twitch is
thing.
perfect.
Hate raids
It's
are
perfect.
fine. They don't exist.
God, hate fucking people are such assholes. Like I know we covered the Pokimane story
Hmm.
last week, but fuck, dude, like people are like, what is up with that on
Yeah.
like the Twitch
I
hate
love
rates?
I love
Like how,
sorry, go on.
sorry, it just
Yeah,
makes me
you
mad
go
when
ahead.
people do that. Like how fucking screwed of a person do you have to be to not just do hate rates? Like I know there's bots versions, but like even like just sending like your toxic community to like some poor innocent like female, for example, not necessarily Pokemon, but like anyone, because I know females are proportionally being picked on this.
They
This
are.
is why I'm bringing them up. So yeah, like bringing them and like literally like giving them, maybe PTSD is a little too strong of a term for this, but quite
It's
possibly,
close.
it's close
Yeah.
enough. It's close enough that I don't think I'm disrespecting anyone. It's it's fucking stupid, dude. Like people are just really fucking toxic. Like it's not even just for the lulls or for the trolls. It's just also like just have
Yeah.
some fucking compassion and don't fucking be an asshole like on purpose and hurtful in such a purposeful and hateful way. Anyways,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
sorry, I had to
it's
rant.
awful.
I
You
had to rant.
know,
I'm sorry.
like it's also awesome when you pick out. It hasn't happened to me, but I've heard about. Go check out. Someone like James Stephanie Sterling or his co-host, uh, and find out that they get hate rated because of them being gender neutral or gay or bi or anything like that. Right? There's anything. All that is just awful shit. You stop it. Anyway, that has nothing to do with what we're bitching, what we're talking about right now. Sorry, but it was a bit of a mini rant. Just stop being horrible to each other.
Pretty much.
I wish that
Um,
could happen.
so yeah, at least Toy didn't win.
Yeah, it's not a
In the way they
100%.
wanted.
Yeah, it's not a 100% win for us, but it's the best one we could get at the moment. Uh,
Yep.
but like it's weird because now because of that, I mean, he had already mentioned this that he's gonna have to reevaluate his relationship with them because he was also thinking of doing other deals with was it Funimation, who does the English or the Japanese, sorry, the English dub of Dragon Ball, because that's who he usually has deals with. I don't know if he had one directly with Toei, but I think it was normally through Funimation and that because you know they're outside of Japan. But now he's like, I don't know if I should do this anymore. What do deals with them for like one of my favorite series of all time, like One Piece and Dragon Ball, right?
Right.
So it sucks that he has to do that, but I mean, as long as it keeps grandfather Toy off his back. I was gonna say Papa Toy, but I don't think that's the case. They're definitely older than that. But anyway, whatever. It's done. It's done, and we're done with that story, I think.
Yeah,
But
I think we're done.
you know what else is done?
Oh.
Sega
Oh,
is
Sega. Yeah.
exiting the Japanese
Okay.
amusement arcade business after 50 years. Holy
I was
crap.
hoping I was hoping you'd let me say the Sega.
Oh,
Sega.
sorry. I didn't know
But
you wanted to do that.
but you didn't, Chris.
I didn't know you wanted to do it. Because I had a good segue. Anyway,
Now as payment, we both have to do Sega at the same time. Ready?
no,
No? Okay, fine.
I
Party
will
pooper.
not.
But anyways,
But
go ahead.
but yeah, so COVID probably had a lot to do with this. Sega had already shut down a couple locations. One they apparently reopened like a block or two away from its old one, but whatever. They were apparently already shutting down and selling a bunch of the business to another one called Genda Inc. Like they had already sold to them like 85%, so they already didn't have like shareholder stakes, whatever. They've now sold the last like 50% to them. So Genda is now going to be taking over all the Sega arcades in Japan, and they'll be they will be renamed as Genda Gigo Entertainment, uh,
Hmm.
and or Gigo Centers. So instead of Sega Center or whatever it was called. So yeah, they are backing out completely. I don't know if this means they're not going to make arcade units because that's not covered here, but they are not going to be in the arcade business in terms of like the Sega centers that are set up around Japan.
So
That sucks.
just to be clear, like I realize they're selling like the buildings and units to this other company,
Yeah,
but like there's still gonna be like the actual Sega games in there, right? Like
I don't.
it's still gonna be the same.
I do not know if they're making arcade cabinets still.
Well, not making, but like they're still leaving the ones that are in there in terms of like the games are gonna be the same. Like
I want to say yes because there's not too
so,
many in terms of other than fighting games and certain arcades. I don't know how many companies are still doing arcades, and I don't know if the Sega arcades only has Sega in them, Sega machines in them.
mhm.
So, but I don't know for sure. I want to say that they are going to keep the machines that are in there in there. I just don't think they're going to be running the arcade uh, shops themselves. And I do not know about the future of them making new arcade units. So
Okay.
that's still kind of murky, but it kind of sucks. I mean, they're not going away because I wanted to go to the Sega arcades whenever, if I ever get a chance to go there, if things calm down enough to be safe to go there.
Yeah, I same. I've always wanted to visit Japan with the right friend group, so I definitely want to visit that at some
Yeah,
point in my
it
life.
would be nice. It just sucks. Like it won't be Sega. It'll now be Gendy or Gigo. Sorry.
Well, it'll be Gigo, but like I'm trying to think like to the average consumer, if all the units are the same, it doesn't really make a
Yeah,
difference for
yeah.
them, right?
If the insides are still the same, it'll still it may practically be the same. We don't know if they're going to change anything, but I don't know what is and isn't staying when they change over. I am assuming, at least for the time being, it's going to stay what it is right now.
Okay.
I don't see that Giga wanting to do a massive overhaul of all the units inside the machine, inside the arcade, just to, especially during pandemic, right? It's better to do that when things are a little bit safer and people are feel more safer to go out, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Keep it up, keep it going for a bit, and then slowly start transitioning. I mean, hell, they may just get rid of arcades in general and just go to gotcha machines and
Ugh,
crane games, which
that
are
would be
really
terrible.
big in Japan. And so,
I I sound like I'm not sure how true this is. It probably is because it's Japan. But I've seen people like well, not people like I've seen like anime like as a joke like hey look like I'm sick so I can't go to the crane machine but I'm actually using my phone to play a crane machine on my phone like in real life
yeah,
like your phone
you
is
could.
controlling the
I've
crane machine
watched,
and then the prizes get mailed to you.
yeah, I watched some VTubers playing the crane games where they're I think in some of them now are they're actually doing some of the voice work, for the oh you got a prize, let's
Huh,
go doing voice work
right.
over that. And but yeah, you can they live stream you playing the arcade machine.
Huh.
So you can actually
That's
win prizes. I mean, it's better than them going out and dying or potentially getting
yeah,
sick and dying. So it's
right.
it's one of the few companies that have actually said, "Hey, we know how to upgrade this to work with the times." I mean, it is silly to be doing it on your phone, but you can do it as long as the stuff
I mean
your prizes get mailed to you.
it's not silly, it's fucking awesome if
Oh,
that
okay.
like, as I said
I thought you
I
were
would not have
looking at it as being really silly.
no
I
no
understood you.
I I think it's awesome that you can do that for multiple reasons, but yeah, just I don't see a downside. The only downside would be like I'm not sure how like probably there's someone in person there picking up your prizes and giving mailing them to you, but
Yeah,
like
they've got people there. There's also I've seen like if you are there for a long time, at least for the videos I've seen, people have been there for a long time, trying to get a certain prize. So the people who are there will like move prizes around to try and make it easier to get certain prizes. And if you've
oh
spent
really?
a lot or have been really close, I've seen them like pick up prizes, just toss them in the hole, and you go, "You won!" like, just trying to help out people because, you don't want to sit there. Like, let's say if you dropped like, 1,000 yen in there, maybe, give them a prize because those prizes don't cost a lot,
Yeah.
or they try to work things to make them a little bit work in people's favor. Like, I've seen that happen. So,
So I just actually thought of one potential downfall to this, and the only one reason I wouldn't actually like it is because kind of the same as gambling. Some people might be addicted to it, and
mhm.
they might be spend a lot of money, and because they might not necessarily do it in person because closing hours and you have to travel there, travel back. So that might be a detriment to them generally. But if they can just do it on their phone, they might get addicted to it and just keep doing it and lose their money. So that's the only downside I can see
Yeah,
now that I
I
actually had some time to think.
Yeah, I do not know what kind of restrictions there are on it. I assume that there is opening and closing hours because it does seem to be a physical location. I mean, it is a physical location with staff working there, right? So I don't know what the hours are, but oh, excuse me. Hopefully, they do have something implemented to not allow you to just spend all your money. But I do not know. I've never been to that. I think there's even a North American company that's doing the same thing, live crane game things. I've seen like an ad on, I think it was YouTube or something. Like, oh,
Hmm.
so it's getting big enough that some other people are looking to do that.
I would definitely want to at least do it once, just to say, like I like to try most things in life at least once. So I would like to do some research. Maybe I'm not going to do this next week for sure, but like, just like if it costs $2, okay, that's $2 for me to kind of get an experience and learn about it. So yeah, I'm gonna see if I how easy and how or versus how hard it is. Like you probably have to download a custom app and do some other
Probably.
things I can't think
Yeah,
of.
I don't
So
know if the Japanese ones, if you're able to play here or get stuff mailed to you, but there is apparently. I haven't looked into it. I think there's like a US or something like that, or Western version of it coming out or is out. So
okay,
at least
interesting.
it seemed like it. It is interesting. Nice to know that some companies have worked with the time to try to upgrade or change their service to
Yep,
still
I
still be
agree.
good. I hope that that Sega doesn't fully get out of the arcade business, as in I want to see them keep making arcade machines. So it'd be nice to be able to go to an arcade and play some Sega machines. They're one of the
Yeah,
few that are still doing it or are known for still doing it.
I guess time will only tell because that's something again, just like you, I was yeah, I can talk. I always wanted to do when I was in Japan is go there and yeah,
it's,
hopefully they don't get it too much.
yeah. Hopefully, hopefully they're still around when we eventually get there when we're 60.
Yes, pretty much at this rate, pretty much.
I was hoping to be there by the time I was 30 and that didn't happen. Then I was like, oh, 40. Nope, that didn't happen. So maybe I could get there before I'm 50. Maybe. Oh, all right. So what else do we have for news?
Um, well, so remember how last week I said that's probably the biggest, like the whole Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard. I said that's probably like the biggest news story we've had since we started this podcast. Well, Sony wasn't one to just take in the face and lie down. Like I know these things are kind of months in the making, so this was not a response, but the timing is just very weird nonetheless. It just like it makes you think that they chose this timing specifically, at least to announce it. So basically, this is not as big of a deal, but Sony bought Bungie for $3.6 billion, and
Hmm,
yeah, it's strange because Bungie was the original makers of Halo up until I'm trying to think, maybe like Halo Reach. I could be wrong about that, but
I
I think up until about Halo Reach is when Bungie was making all the Halo games for Xbox,
I think so.
they they were replaced by 343 Studios for the Halo games, and Bungie just kind of became their own thing for Destiny and Destiny 2. And then remember, they used to be, I think it was Activision, correct me if I'm wrong. They used to be partnered with Activision or owned by them, or no, sorry, they published the Destiny games, and then they kind of bought the rights back. So they're
Yeah, they
like
had to
their own
fight
publisher.
for the rights
Yeah.
to their games back.
And now Sony just said, no, we're just going to buy you outright. And so now Sony owns Bungie. So yeah, I feel like, as I said, I know these things are months in the making, but I feel like the timing of it is just like a response to Microsoft. It's just, I can't shake that feeling.
Yeah, um, it is true. Apparently, this isn't the last of the game companies buying up other game companies. News stories. There's apparently a lot more in that are rumored to be happening. Just not. I didn't look at the news story because I'll wait until it's confirmed. But there's apparently a lot of other buyouts and partnerships happening that we don't know about yet that are still in the works. But it does feel like it is like a response. Like right after that, like announce this one. Now what? In a few weeks' time, we're going to hear about Sony or Square buying a company or another company, and then we'll hear about Microsoft trying to get another. Like that's like how long will it be before Square or Ubisoft is potentially bought by Microsoft or Sony? Sony's looked at Square because
Yeah,
I think they've looked
definitely.
at them in the past and said, "We own you," and Square's like, "No, you don't."
Fuck off, bitch.
Because everyone thinks of Final Fantasy as being a Sony game, right?
Yep.
That's why I'm
Yep.
saying that. But like, I wonder how long before you hear one of them is bought, or like, Ubisoft gets bought by EA or something, right? Like, I'm expecting one of those big companies to get bought by one of the bigger ones, and then the monopoly wars are like in full swing. Because right now we're in like the Cold War, kind of the monopoly war between like
Pretty
two or
much.
three companies. That's what it almost feels like. Oh yeah, it would be three companies: Sony, Microsoft, and not Zynga. I was gonna say because there was a buyout from Zynga and fucking Rockstar as well. I was thinking of the other ones, the other Chinese company, the one that like owns like a lot of shit.
Oh, 10 cent, right?
10 cent.
10 cent.
10 cent's the
Yeah,
one I'm
there we
thinking
go.
of.
It took me a second to kind of get what you're trying to talk about, but yeah,
Yeah,
I got you.
it just took me a while to remember their names. I always forget what it is. I remember some of the companies they own or have partnerships with. I just don't remember the name.
Right.
But yeah, yeah, it's another big buyout. I wonder what the hell Sony's going to do with them because I don't know. Like, are they gonna have them do a Destiny 3 as a live
Um,
service thing again? Are they gonna have them like reboot? I was gonna say Killing Floor. That's not it. Resistance, because that game hasn't had a game in it for quite a while, and
I don't know. Uh,
I
all
don't
all I
see the point. Or not the point. I don't know why they are bothering to buy up these companies in the first place, really, other than having more properties. They apparently, though, I think they said they're going to basically stay autonomous, anonymous. Like they're not going to be folded into Sony. They're just going to be a company owned by them, and they're pretty much going to be left to their own devices. Apparently, question mark.
okay.
But again, we'll see how long that lasts because we've heard that said about certain other companies, and then them get folded in eventually, right? So,
So there's a little web comic that I'll share with you, Chris, later on. But they're talking about like everyone buying everyone else out, kind of like what you're saying, like
mm,
the monopoly war. So I'll just kind of read this last panel to you. The forces of Epic Valvebox successfully conquered the last bastion of Sony Nintendo in Neo Tokyo, Japan. Meanwhile, in Africa, the Medizon Group deploys its troops to hold off against a hostile takeover by Disney Cent.
yeah,
It's like,
yeah,
yeah, it's
it's
like it's like all out war from like these factions are just like uh shit. What's that transformer called? Not Omnicron. That's the Corona. What's his name? Oh no, not Omicron. Oh man, not
you mean
something Tron.
It's not
Gal Gal.
Galvatron. Galvatron's his
No,
minion.
no,
Um,
it's supposed to be Galvatron, the destroyer of
Unicron.
planet. Unicron. Thank you. I knew it was something Cron. It's like everything. They're just gonna like eat everything in their way and grow bigger and bigger, just like Unicron. It's like
Yep, that's
where does it end?
I
premiere.
mean,
It's
I
like
was more thinking that each one is one of the, that, yeah, I guess, in a way it's that, or it's, one of them is the Planet Devourer from that one, old CG anime, or CG cartoon, where they had all the planets, were trying to defend against the Planet Devourer. You had, like, the Rock Planet, and the Fire Planet, and the Ice Planet. God, I don't remember what it's called. And there was basically a big Unicron, like giant plant that was coming through, like heading to their sun to devour it. I wish I could remember what it was called. It's basically that.
yeah, sorry, I can't help you out on that one. Not sure.
Yeah, but yeah, Sony buys Bungie. I wonder what the next buyout's going to be. I wonder how much bigger
Yeah,
or less it's going to be, because this is definitely smaller compared to the other one, but it is big, because that's
definitely big,
still not much to scoff at.
but it's kind of like reminds me of Microsoft buying uh Rare. Like they didn't know what to do with them once they got them
Yeah,
initially,
I wonder
and
if they
now
even have a plan for these guys, or they're just buying them to buy them.
yeah, and this is in my mind this is like Sony's Rare.
Yeah, like
So we'll see what they do to them.
is Sony just buying them so that Microsoft can't? Because this happens a lot. Game companies, no,
Um,
it happens in the music industry a lot. The music industry, they will buy up talent that they have no use for, just so that other companies can't get a hold of them. And then they'll just have them
yeah,
put out like one or two albums and then just throw them away. And just say, well, we own you. You can't do anything as per this contract for X amount of years. And they'll just throw them in the corner. Yeah, this happens all the time in the music
you
industry.
think about what you've done,
Yeah,
which is
basically.
nothing.
And like this useful talent is just left there to do car commercials and, you know, movie taglines or whatever, right? Things that
Right.
aren't worth the talent. Anyway,
Mhm.
I wonder if it's one of those situations. Get it before Microsoft does.
It wouldn't surprise me because, as I said, Bungie, Bungie was
Yeah,
specifically
that's also.
like Xbox's like best friend when the Xbox first existed.
I
So,
thought it would be
and
weird that Microsoft hadn't bought them. Maybe they'd just been uh, like staving away from them until they made a good enough offer, or I don't know.
well, too late now because that's not never going to happen at this point.
Yeah, it's not.
Well, I think we're done with that. And then we unfortunately have some more Activision Blues
Yeah, that's the one I would just
news
clicked on.
this week. So basically, it's the same old, same old. Basically, they don't like unions, and even though Xbox hasn't acquired Activision Blizzard officially yet, they're still after, or they're still doing their old shitty tricks. Well, not even tricks, their old shitty attitude here.
Mm.
So basically, um, Activision's VP he posted some anti-union in the company Slack, and Slack is like a kind of like a messaging system for in the office with each other. Kind of you can kind of think like the office version of Discord. Just kind of keeps employees together and whatever. But yeah, basically more union busting techniques, except it's more influence at this point,
Oh
Chris.
yeah, it is. This is really. I won't say desperate because that's not what it is, but it's a lot of the same crap that they were doing before, but now they're trying to put a different spin on it. Basically, everything that they're saying is like now is, well, if you go to a union, it's going to take longer to do this. And if you go to the union, you can't talk directly to us. You have to go through the union, so it might take months for arbitration to happen. And because of all that wasted time, we won't be able to make the same quality games that we used to. That's basically what they're saying. Is if you have a union, we won't be able to make the same award-winning game, not game busting, game world-renowned games that we are known for. That is absolutely 100% not the truth. Just because you're going to the union and having them fight for your rights does not mean that you yourself are going to have to leave work for weeks or months and not do any work. You'll still be working and you'll still be doing stuff. Just things will be happening in the background as always when you have a union.
Yeah,
It's just going to take a little bit longer. Really.
we'll we'll post this news stories or this new story in our Discord. If for you guys who want to join, just to read for
Like,
yourself.
yeah,
But yeah,
because there is a
basically,
lot in it, but a
it's
lot of it reads.
yeah. I'm not gonna read the whole thing. I'm not even
Yeah,
gonna read the quarter of the thing. Like it's pretty long, but pretty much they're making a lot of bullshit out. Like whether or not you make games like successfully has nothing to do with how your workers are grouped up with each other, because that's what a union is pretty
yeah,
much. So it doesn't make any sort of sense. It basically they're saying because you guys have a united front, our games are going to be worse. Like that makes no
yeah.
sense.
That's like saying that if where I work, if I was ununionized, that would mean I'd be working harder. No, it wouldn't. If anything, I might be working worse because I don't have a say in what's going on in the damn company, and I'm afraid I'm going to lose my job tomorrow. So why work harder? I'm not saying with a union you'll work harder, but you have protection.
Yeah.
Union or not, it's not good. Should not affect how hard you work. You'll just feel safer.
Hmm.
So what if I have to take like a half hour to go deal with something with the union? It, that time should be covered by other people, and that time will be covered if your management knows what they're doing and knows how to flex and move people around to the proper positions they need to be to cover shifts. Anyway, I'm ranting
So
a bit more here.
yeah,
Sorry.
no, it's all good. It's all good, man. But yeah, in terms of whether not you, Chris, but like whether anyone like like you in general agree with unions or not, that shouldn't really have anything to do with like anything else in terms of like the work. Like
Yeah,
people should be afraid, not afraid. People should be, you know, free to do whatever they want in terms of how they choose to present themselves, and it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't compute to me. Like it's
yeah, it
just,
doesn't.
as you said, it was just them being desperate, and this is just like they're doing whatever they can think of to kind of try and convince
Yeah,
people and try
now
and put
that they've
seeds in their heads.
taken, that team and has been trying to split them up as much as they can throughout the company, as we kind of mentioned last week. And now they're striking harder with more anti-union garbage and letters. So they're really trying to, well, I guess desperately not have this happen. I hope, yeah, there's not much I could say more about this other than what we've already said. Really, just more anti-union BS while they're trying to split up all the workers and ununify them. Like all the ones that
Yeah,
are trying to get this going, they're trying to split them up so that their voice is lessened across the company.
like treat people with respect. Don't try to like force them to do something they don't want to do. That's just I don't know. I just don't agree with any part of this. It's shitty, and they're shitty for having this. They just keep doing it over and over again.
Yeah,
Like
I think that's the big thing. So yeah, they keep doing it over and over and over.
at
Uh,
Microsoft right now, as a matter of fact, they're going to be like hiding their faces with their hands. They're kind of like ashamed of
yeah,
this because this is like unneeded attention, unneeded drama they were not looking to inherit. So
yeah, like even if Microsoft tries to stay as far away from them as possible, like kind of treat it as like we just bought them and that's it. I really think Microsoft should step in and do something about it. Like it's looking worse and worse, and even if they don't unionize, there should be, you know, the ever watchful eye of Microsoft hovering above, making sure that shit happens. Like
yeah,
the shit happens the way it should, because as far as I know, I've never heard of this stuff happening at a Microsoft studio or Microsoft company or a company bought through them, associated through them. I've heard, that they've shut down, groups and that, overnight because they've done that before. You know,
Microsoft.
yeah, like throughout their Microsoft in general, like there would be they'd be working on something and then like the next week go, okay, you guys are shut down, even though they sent mail,
Oh,
you know,
you're talking about like outside the gaming
yeah,
space, right?
outside of gaming space in general.
Right.
So
I got you now.
yeah, Microsoft as a whole, sorry. But yeah, like they've done stuff like that, but I don't think that they've had issues with this specific kind of thing. The whole uh, not treating employees fair rights, yada yada. Or when it has come up, they've quickly rectified it, I believe. Now, I may be wrong on that, but like it's, I would like to see. I was gonna say Sony. I like to see Microsoft step in because this is getting out of hand. Like, I mean, it was already out of hand, but this is looking worse and worse for Activision Blizzard, and Microsoft will look at this and go, "So the stocks are a lot lower than it was before. Thank you guys.
Right.
Like what did we buy? We didn't buy, one of the biggest gaming companies in the world to have you run it into the ground. You know, I
They're
know
like
that's not quite it, but that's kind of the feeling that could happen like in a month going, the fuck are you guys doing?
they're like, you couldn't have done this before we bought all your
I
shares
mean,
and for it to be
you,
cheaper.
you guys were doing this before, but straighten the shit out. Like,
Yeah.
do they
So
need a
yeah, Mike,
spanking? Does this 50 or 20, 30-year-old company need a spanking from their daddy, their new daddy?
pretty much. Well, Microsoft is powerless to do anything at the moment, so they can't really
Kinda,
do much.
but
But
yeah, hopefully things
it's
get cleaned up and hopefully it doesn't have to come from Microsoft. The shit should get cleaned up on its own.
I think we both know the answers to that question.
It won't. That's the answer.
All right, Chris, do we have any more stories for this week, or
Uh,
what's the deal?
I think we have one more. Modding. Crytek.
Money, money, money. Oh, never mind.
No, not money. Modding. Sorry. If I
I heard money. You said modded. I hear that now, but my brain heard money.
I wish
I was like,
money.
yes,
But yeah,
always money.
apparently Crytek has threatened modder with legal action over Crisis Photo Mode mods.
Yeah, that's so the story is that this guy does like a lot of free moddings for games, and what he specializes in is the ability to add like an in-game photography mode. Some games you hit pause and then the game pauses and you're like, take a screenshot. Like it takes like this whole like different UI about you can zoom filters and like it's like like the photograph
Yeah,
mode.
basically
So he
show off how
basically
beautiful the game is.
yeah, so he basically does this for a lot of PC games for free.
Yep.
Um, and yeah, they weren't sorry. I'm drawing a blank. What's the company again? For Crytek. Yeah,
Crytek, yes.
yeah. Crytek wasn't too happy for this because apparently he had a Patreon and he was putting it behind his paywall. Just the mod for
I
this.
was he?
I think so
I
because they
believe.
asked him to close
uh,
his Patreon.
Okay, except they. Okay, I missed that part. They asked him to shut down his Patreon because I
Yeah,
thought he was
because
making the mods. The Patreon was just there to help support him, but he's making the mods and putting them up for free for people, not behind a paywall. But I could be wrong.
I could be wrong too. I don't have the story in front of me. I wasn't actually aware we were going to cover this right now. So again, my memory could be off a little bit. That's wouldn't surprise me. But yeah,
Yeah, it
he
says he did not
he
make money directly from the specific mods, and
no, but he did have a Patreon where like people were again. I think it was behind the paywall, but I could be wrong. But basically, he got the email. He wasn't very happy. He kind of emailed them back, and then they reply back, and then more so like non template reply like the first one. Like you could tell like an actual human was writing this one, basically saying, yeah, you know what, the reason why we decided to do this to you is because of your Patreon, because you're charging for you're charging people for our mod, or like the mod for our game, so we can't allow that. So they said you can either make the mod free for everyone, and then it doesn't matter because it's free. There's no money exchanging hands, or just drop it altogether. And he decided to drop it. And he said his initial reaction was, well, I didn't want to punish the fans because they had nothing to do with it, and then that's it. They had nothing to use. But at the same time, he doesn't want. He sees it as free advertising. The screenshots that users make using his
hmm,
mod, he sees it as free advertising for the game, and they get more views and hits and money that way. So he doesn't want to do Crytek any favors. So he said for all the Crytek mods, including the foot and the one that he just did, um, he's just gonna completely like kill them off because he doesn't want to have any support for
Yeah.
backup me.
So he removed these mods from being listed on his Patreon page, and I don't think he'll be supporting like doing updates to those mods, or he removed them from wherever they were uploaded. But I don't believe they were paywalled away. I could be wrong on that. I did not check out his Patreon personally. So,
Okay,
but
I'm
either
not sure.
way, he has at least removed them specifically from his Patreon, so they're not listed there.
I'm not sure how Patreon works exactly, but I thought it's either like there's a paywall or there's not.
Well, if like Team Four Star, they say that you could help pay us, we can make content, which is all available for free on YouTube. We do not paywall that stuff. There might be some things that is like, some hangouts and stuff like that, but all of their stuff is for free. And a lot of modern, like people who mod things, do that. It's just, hey, you want to throw me some money to help, not to help make it worth doing this, but just to throw me a little bit of support so I could, continue doing this in my spare time. But
Yep.
most people don't paywall that stuff. It's like the stuff will be for free no matter what, right? So I believe that is what he was doing, but I could be wrong. Sorry, I don't know for sure. I've never
Sounds
looked
good.
at. I don't really do these types of mods myself. I usually do like enhanced graphic mods to make things look prettier. So myself, or complete overhauls, like the Final Fantasy. What's it called? Final Fantasy VII mod I was playing.
Yeah, I'm also a little sad I don't see you playing that anymore.
I will have to restart it since I've removed a lot of games and that cleaned up bits some of my hard drives and that have been reinstalling a bunch of
Oof,
stuff. And I think I lost that game in the file, so I'd
oof,
have to restart again. So if
that
I do
sucks.
that, but I was playing the New Threat 2.0 mod. It is a good mod. I like it. Although I don't like it when the audio bugs out. I don't like it when audio disappears or when
Yeah,
textures don't work. And things like that. Like it
sounds like
is.
it still needs a lot of work.
It's a heavy mod with lots of parts to it. So
Hmm.
having even the wrong texture, a texture set up on one thing, like a mini game, like the motorcycle mini game. If the wrong
Yep,
texture set up on there, it could just break parts of the game. So yeah,
I believe
it's a big heavy mod. You know what is a cool mod though? Before we take off, there's a fan mod of RE1 being made in the kind of RE4 kind of style, like over the shoulder, third person over the shoulder. It looks fucking amazing.
I was gonna say they remade one already. They're doing a remake again.
No, that fan made remake.
Yeah.
It looks
Okay.
good. I posted it in my little Discord. If you want to post in yours later, you can. But I posted like a 3-minute video of someone of what he's done so far. It looks really
Okay.
good.
Interesting.
I
Interesting.
kind of want to play it when it's finished.
Well, I think that's all the news we covered this week, and we're actually,
Yeah, I think that's
yeah,
it.
this podcast has gone a little longer than expected, but yeah, I think we're good to wrap things up.
Yeah, I think we are. I guess you could catch me on Twitter under CSCHABANG if you want to follow me for updates and like just things I like or post of I guess my toys and stuff. I haven't done that in a while, but that's usually what I'll do, or I'll like fan art of other things I like. But yeah, it's mostly that or updates of when I'm going live and such. Um, I usually stream on Twitch like 2 or 3 days a week. Uh, under Prince_Kaboom. The times are usually late at night for us in the Western, or us here like Canada and North America, but it's fine. And I'm slowly uploading some stuff onto my YouTube for kind of like archive and if I can ever get stuff edited on MrPrinceKaboom on YouTube. And I think that's pretty much it. I might be doing my last Leon playthrough tonight. I don't know if I'm going to get through it all or if I will stream, but we'll see what happens. And
Nice.
you? Where can they
So
find
you
you?
can Follow me on Twitter, Zorb_Zex. Twitch, the same thing. On Twitch right now, I'd love to have you guys there. I also have a Discord for myself on there as well. But right now we're trying to get 100% completion in the Steel Soul mode of Hollow Knight. I'm 80% done. One more stream should finish it off. It's basically a mode. It's not it's self-imposed mode. It's basically you die, the game automatically deletes your save file. So yeah,
Nice.
we're almost done that to 100%. Um, and then I plan on playing a couple of scary games after that. One is what's it called? Poppy. I'll have to check my desktop here. Poppy Playtime. It's kind of one of those indie horror games, kind of like think you can think Five Nights at Freddy's, but basically you're wandering around like a huge factory. I purposely have been trying to avoid spoilers, but yeah,
Hmm.
I saw it on Mandy's stream, and she said this is would be a game that I would really enjoy. And yeah, from what I saw on her stream when she streamed it, it was really good. So I want to do the same. Also, I'll be playing through the Medium, which is I'm not sure if you guys have seen it. It's actually on Game Pass, but it's that game where like you're playing as a girl and you exist in both like a light and a dark version of the world at the same time, and like the screen is split down the middle, and you kind of see like both versions of you. It's kind of like identical. Think like Light World, Dark World, and Legend of Zelda,
Hmm.
except like you're in both worlds at the same time, but you have to like interact. You know what I mean? It's
Hmm.
it's it's
Yeah.
it's a really weird concept, and I'm really looking forward to playing it. I've been kind of avoiding the game remaining in the dark on purpose, so yeah, I'm looking forward to playing that as well. And then yeah, as I said at the start of the stream, I've been upgrading my stream. I'm gonna be pushing myself and putting a real effort into uh, doing more streams and putting more work into the stream itself. So yeah, I'd love to see you guys on there. And yeah, I am very chatty, so you can feel free. Yeah, can't talk. You can feel free to drop by and yeah, we can have a chat. But that's about it for me, Chris. I think that's it about. Or wow, I think that's it for you as well.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I
thank
think
you so
so.
much, guys. Yeah, thank you so much for watching slash sharing this, guys. We appreciate it. We have our own Discord as well for the podcast, so you can check that out if you're interested. Anything
Yeah.
else, Chris?
No, I think that's it. Our links in that will also be in the descriptions for the podcast and such. So hopefully nothing's wrong. We should all be working fine. But yeah, that's it. That's all. I guess till next time. Take care, everyone.
Yep.
Take care, Zork.
See you guys next week. See you, Chris, and peace out, guys.
All right, bye.